I have a question. I'm just wondering if you could address, I've heard this question come up in the past, but I haven't heard it yet, but you did sort of mention this. How many presses should you be targeting when you are looking to publish your work? I mean, I've heard that it's okay to send it to a couple places, but I've also heard that some publishers really don't like that.
Some presses will ask for an exclusive review. Sometimes they do that. I don't ask for that, but you should definitely be very clear. You know, there is this cover letter that you send with your proposal and your vita and your other materials, and in that cover letter you are saying how wonderful it is and how much you would like to publish with NYU Press. Though I should let you know that I'm also contacting other publishers and at this time, and we're fine with that. And I would say do 3 to 4. You know, you don't want to. 6 is a lot. But
to be clear, you're not sending the whole manuscript to 3 people.
You could. I've definitely gone into the review process where they are talking to 3 other people, and then the tricky thing there is just that you want everyone to sort of be on the same time frame, because if I get my reviews back in and you say, well, that's great, but Cambridge needs 4 more months, I will probably then just bow out, because I'm not gonna, I can't wait 4 months. You know, we're ready to go now, and so you need to make the decision. Okay, either I'm gonna go forward, you know, maybe with you, or you're gonna bow out too. That's not the best. No one's gonna really like that. So you want to try to be aware, be clear with everyone what you're doing. Make sure that they're not gonna ask you for an exclusive review. Some presses will ask you for an exclusive review, and again, you may want to do that. You may not want to do that. It's also, you know, what can you reasonably handle all at once. You know, 6 might be a lot to try to stay on top of. That might be a lot. 3 might be very manageable, I think.
But what percentage of books would you say you sign up from proposal versus the whole manuscript? Is it more proposal, or?
It depends. If it's a senior scholar, proposal that's well articulated. That's fine if it's their 4th or 5th book. But usually on the junior scholar side, we're having either the whole manuscript or a substantial portion of the manuscript. Sometimes if it's very timely, you can say, wow, we really need to get something on this topic, and there can be good reason to not, maybe it just hasn't happened yet, so not as much can even be written. But, so there might be other extenuating circumstances to have less than more. But with dissertation, usually there is a whole thing that exists somewhere.
So it's likely the author would have to make a choice at some point if they've sent it out to 3 or 4 publishers who've responded and said, we want to see it.
Yeah.
And again, just to hammer away at this issue of personal relationships, which I think is so important. You don't want to burn people. It's like, taking a job offer and then backing out of it because something else comes up. You can do it, people do it, but everybody's going to know.
Yeah.
And when you go back on the market in 10 years, that might come back to haunt you. And I presume the same thing applies in publishing.
Yeah.